Oh, hey folks, how you doing there? It's Monday, March 21st, and this kind of brings to pass something that probably I should bring to the future. I wish to tell you something about a class and a timeline in England known as the Tudors. So Tudor, the Tudors. Now, their claim to fame was in the 16th century. They discovered, they brought about, and they started consuming mass quantities of sugar. Now, back in the good old days, the rich nobility had just tablefuls of meat, seafood, sugary treats, all kinds of good stuff, while the average common men pretty much had a diet of bread, what they called pottages, which is pretty much like a stew. Peas porridge hot, peas porridge cold. They literally had like a pot going all the time. They would just keep adding stuff to it, and that's what they would eat. And vegetables. So literally, the diet of like the everyman was much, much healthier than the diet of the elites. Pretty much, it can be said that you were truly of that which you ate. The biggest thing, of course, was because the sugar came about and there was no real good hygiene. Their teeth pretty much fell out of their heads. There was one of the queens, she could barely be understood because her teeth were literally rotting out. She would fail to see a dentist for sheer fear that a deacon said, look, it can be done, or a bishop, actually, it was a bishop, said, you can bear the pain of getting a tooth pulled. Here, I'll show you how it's done. And had a tooth yanked out to prove it was survivable to have a tooth yanked out of your head. Now, the biggest thing was pretty much like the seasonings and those things were affordable to the everyman was very basic. Usually probably like black pepper, some minor herbs, and of course, salt. Salt was huge. Now, the biggest thing, of course, was what kind of meats did you have available? Like the noblemen would have like your high quality smoked meats. They would have like your better quality dairy products, your better quality of everything because they could afford it. While the everyman would probably get pretty much like you've heard the phrase, the upper crust. That's literally the way it worked. Because when they baked bread, the bottom would sometimes be burnt. So the upper crust would be the guys who got like the best part of the loaf, and the bottom part was pretty much just crap. But that's what the everyman got. Now you've probably heard that thing about Marie Antoinette saying let them eat cake. Well, she wasn't talking about cake with frosting. She was talking about that bottom layer of the bread that the French referred to as cake, or literally the burned bottom section that was not so desirable. When she said let them eat cake, she pretty much was saying just let them eat the crap, and I don't care what they say, and that's their problem. So, case in point, going and flashing ahead to modern England, they are now thinking of doing exactly to what they tried to do to us, instituting a tax on something that pretty much is an everyday item that really causes everybody to be pissed off. Now, you guys remember the good old history about the Boston Tea Party, and literally they said you're not going to tax our tea, and literally took the royal shipment of the tea and threw it overboard to keep people from being taxed on their teas. Flashing ahead, like I said, to modern England, the Brits are revealing plans to impose a sugar tax on soft drinks, which they will claim currently will raise £520 million or $732 million for primary school sports. Now, here's the kicker. The tax will be imposed on the soft drink manufacturers, not the consumers. Well, let's just think about this logically. If a business has to absorb a cost, what's the first thing they do? Exactly. They raise the price. Everybody raises the price because Joe Blow's soda is not going to be the same as, Harvey What's-His-Face's soda to say that there's going to be, a 20 pence difference in price. They're going to say, was it like 30 some odd cents worth of difference? There's not going to be 30 cents worth of difference between these two items. Both of them are going to go up 20 pence in price because the first guy's going to raise up. They're going to go, we don't want to be like, the one guy that's getting boned on the price because we all can raise it once. So it's not going to be like an actual thing of conspiracy. It's just all these businesses are going to raise their prices. So literally what they said is anything that is fruit juice, as in a pure fruit juice, or a milk-based drink will be excluded from the tax. And here's the thing. Drinks will be assessed in two levels. One for total sugar content of 5 grams per 100 milliliters, and the second higher one is going to be for drinks containing more than 8 grams per 100 milliliters. Now, here's the part that you have to really truly pay attention to. The gentleman who actually was quoted here is Chancellor George Osborne, and he said, quote, "Doing the right thing for the next generation is what this government and this budget is about," end quote. Going down further, quote, "A British fit for the future, a government not afraid to put the next generation first," end quote. Okay, let's read into those two sentences. Doing the right thing for the next generation is what this government and this budget is about. Translation: we are taxing you now because we know you're going to be pissed off and not drinking this stuff in larger volumes, just like New York noticed when they started raising the tax on cigarettes and stuff. People started buying their cigarettes in New Jersey because it was cheaper. Now, this next thing about a Britain fit for the future, a government not afraid to put the next generation first. No, that is, both of these things are so utterly transparent that anybody with no eyesight could see it from bazillions of miles away across the galaxy. These guys are looking to tax people and calling it something that it isn't, for something that is commonly consumed all the time. And that's the other thing too, is if you go to the UK, you do not drink high fructose corn syrup. You drink drinks with sugar. Now here's the kicker. If you try to get something that's high fructose corn syrup in Europe, the EU does not allow it, especially the UK. They are like, you do not put this crap in our beverages. We use sugar. Now, does that mean this stuff's going to be more expensive because sugar has tariffs and stuff? Yes. Here's the problem. Anytime they do something like this, the first thing that happens is people go, you know what? We're Brits. We'll just drink more tea. We'll drink less soda. Number two, we'll find some way to get the soda that is cheaper and not using maybe as much. You know, if I was these soda guys, what I would say is okay, fine. I will put 4 grams per 100 milliliters in there and tweak the formula so it still works. And the other one I would say is, okay, fine. I would put 7 grams per 100 milliliters. Basically, what I would say is okay, fine. All my drinks across the board now have 4 grams of sugar per 100 milliliters, and pretty much, UK government, bye. That is the easiest way to do this. And then the government goes, oh crap, they just went under 5 grams. We're not going to get any money. Okay, let's lower it to 4. And then the soda guys go, you know what? We'll lower it to 3. Till pretty soon, you're drinking soda water and saying, I'm not drinking soda anymore because you guys have chased me off that which I was looking for, which was that human thing to go, I want something that I'm going to enjoy that contains sugar. This is what has happened when you have a socialist overture to control a commonly known, safe, enjoyable, human, pretty much favoritized item. That's it. Look at the bottom line of this for any part of it that you'd ever want to call itself. The Brits, read like the greedy Brits, are looking at a chance to grab up $732 million just for raising sugar taxes on commonly consumed sodas. Of that, if I was the Brits, what I would do is I would make a soda run to another place across the channel to France. If I was the Brits, I would make soda runs, and I would have a lot of bootleg soda riding back in the back of my car or my truck all the time. Because the first time a government does something like this, the very second thing that happens next is black market. That's right, black market items become available. Now, I'll tell you what. You go to New York City now, it is $10, $11, $12 for a pack of smokes. And they are not even normal cigarettes. If you don't keep puffing on a New York cigarette, it goes out. Why? Because a couple of dumbasses set themselves on fire by dropping a cigarette on the mattress and wiping themselves out. I call that pretty much like, Darwin's equation. They wipe themselves out, they're not a problem for anybody else. Unfortunately, the way the government works things is they want to protect all the dumbasses from being dumbasses. Black market is the way you fix these things, and it is going to happen in the UK. Mark my words. Soda will be coming in from other places. The UK government, you guys are a bunch of dumbasses. All right, folks, I'm going to break up on this one. Eat good, keep thundering. As always, you know you love it. Sugar goodness. If they tried that here in this country, man, I think it would be very, very unhappy for the guys who tried to institute it. Not good times. See you guys, I'm going to break up on this one.